Hello and welcome to a very special presentation. Behind me, yep, it's Royal Randwick, and won't it be very much royal in a few months' time when we're back here racing over the Autumn Carnival. Hope you enjoy it. We're at Royal Randwick.
It's a realisation of a long-term vision for Randwick, Richie, and it's not a band-aid solution. It's something that needs to last for 50 years to really set Sydney on the platform for growth and sustainability, and I'm delighted that we've come this far, but I'll be even more delighted when it's finished and we can show it off to the world. We've been master planning at Randwick since I really started. I've been here for 8 years now, and master planning's been going on for at least 5 or 6 of those years, but it wasn't until someone with the development expertise and the know-how of John Cornish grabbed it by the scruff of the neck, actually things started to happen, was instrumental in the merger process with Ron Finnemore and the leadership at the Sydney Turf Club at the time, Billy Picken and Michael Kenny. And to get that result, to get the funding, to get the merger done, and then to appoint builders and actually get it out of the ground, it's been an enormous amount of hard work, but it's something we will look back on in years to come and say we're so very proud of the way we did it.
I am extremely proud that this has evolved. I'm extremely mindful of the government's help, both governments, the previous one and this one now, are carrying on with that. It's a collaborative effort and it's all on track. Yeah, when it starts to come out of the ground, you get a real feel for it. You know, up until then you're guessing a bit. But it'll happen very quickly, Richard. If we get another spate of this good weather, I could imagine in 6 or 8 weeks' time, you know, you might be looking at the whole shell finished.
It's fantastic, you know, even as a developer slash builder, it's fantastic to see it actually developing on site from the plans that we started with. And the greater master plan that Darren and the chairman have discussed, you know, with the hotel and the like, happening in the background. The spectator precinct, once completed, is just going to be a fantastic facility that racing in particular, I think, can be proud of. I think the structure's due to be up within the next 8 weeks completely. From there, they'll start fitting out the floor plates themselves, and obviously we've already got a good start with the QE2 structure, which was the whole idea of maintaining that structure to give the builder an upfront start, which is fantastic again given the weather circumstances that we've had. They've got an enclosed environment to be able to work in, so that's been beneficial. And from there you'll see the facade arrive, so that's about to be put on a ship and shipped across. The steel's already arrived. So yeah, things will really start to develop, and I think when Carnival comes along in September, October, you'll really start to see what the structure's going to look like.
It's such a huge, covers a huge space, so many workers, everything just seems to be on the go.
It is. At the moment they've got about 220, 30, 40 odd here every day of the week, and here from very early to very late, and every little bit has to be put in the right hole.
From the first time that the soil was turned, how long's that been till we stand here today?
The contract was let in December last year, just before Christmas, so not the best start date, but early in the new year. So early in January they set up on site, and a lot of procurement of all the bits and pieces and design has happened, and it's now actually coming together.
Is everything going along the schedule you were expecting?
Oh, things are ahead and things are behind, but as a matter of putting everything together, it is going generally according to plan, I guess. So, yeah, moving in the right direction.
I think in a broad sense we're about on time and we're on budget, especially with the building part of it. You know, I've said a number of times in the past that the fit out, the way you finish it, is still up in the air a bit. We're still working on that.
At the moment, day-to-day activity revolves around getting the fit-out design up to scratch and working through with Multiplex the contractual arrangements there, making sure we achieve the budget on the fit-out. And as the chairman mentioned, you know, that's the balancing act in the budget at this stage. So we're probably a couple of weeks off finalising that process, and then from there it's just monitoring the construction activity and going through the bits and pieces in resolving things like big screens, LED screen technology and the like, and just refining the fit-out design as we move through construction. They've started pouring the concrete, the steel work's starting to go up.
Also saw the lift shafts?
Yeah, so that's exciting to see the whole structure starting to develop upwards. The lift shafts are obviously the first part of that, and then the steel framing and the pouring.
I know you say obviously, but I haven't built one of these before.
Sorry mate, I forgot about that. That's the start of most of construction projects, is getting the cores up. So that's what you're seeing at the moment, is the cores for the lifts all the service risers and the escalator risers and the like. So that's happening for the paddock stand side of the footprint, and that will develop for the new owners' pavilion around the Theatre of the Horse. So you'll start to see that happening over the next couple of weeks.
It's a very tough job, both on the site, dealing with an old building, dealing with heritage issues, dealing with trees and water tables and all sorts of problems around, but Multiplex are getting hold of it and doing well.
We just looked through the grandstand. From the uninitiated, I thought you'd have to knock down the grandstand, but you've kept certain parts of the old stature.
It was a decision we made early, various reasons. It was a good structure. There was value in it to keep hold of it, but we've it's working quite well. It was a good decision, I think, in hindsight. So it'll be there for a long time.
With the betting auditorium being brought down, you really see the expanse of the footprint of the Theatre of the Horse, and again the formations of that will be happening during Spring Carnival this year, so you'll really see it starting to take shape in that sense.
It is what we said it was. It's theatre, and horses pop out of somewhere and up onto the theatre and pop down underneath buildings again and then pop out on the course proper. It really is out and out theatre.
The idea with the Theatre of the Horse is people come in, look at the horses parade, see the absolute mystery of instructions from the trainer and the owner, people mounting up the confidence of the horse when the jockey gets on. They go through a tunnel and pop out on the track. And the idea of the mechanics of how we build it is that they go from the Theatre of the Horse to the ground plane of the new stand, and that's where the bookmaker's ring is. So it's all convenient. They can see the horse, walk quickly inside. They have the main betting ring there. They can put their bet on, then traverse to the front of the track or up through the stands to watch the race. On level one, you've got some great member environments. You've got a chairman's club to attract the corporate dollar. That's very important for the financial health of the club. Premium members dining, premium members bars. Level 2, great environments for functions. So it's a function space that can be broken down from anything from about 1,200 to 200 to 100. And that'll be a great environment for sponsors, great environment for people who want to have a work function, or just a big group of people who want to get together on a race day. Level 3, great viewing deck with the seating outdoors. Fantastic, again, brand driven, really solid, really well designed public facilities, so bars, restaurants, cafes, tiered dining, seating deck overlooking the stands and a smaller area for members. And then level 4 is a product that we're very close to finalising a deal, and I can't wait to take to market, but it's a new membership model that hasn't been on a racetrack before, and once we finalise the deal on that, we'll be taking it to market. And it's probably racing's first true attempt at a lifestyle type of membership. And once we conclude the deal on that, I'll be delighted to tell TVN viewers all about it.
I could say to you the whole way that we've designed these buildings here at Randwick, so they're multifunctional. So there's ballrooms and there's all sorts of different events you can do, breakout areas. It's a sincerely, you're right, we're going to race here 30 days or whatever it is a year, so we've got to find another 330 things to do with it, and we're doing it. And we're providing the facility for that to happen.
And the hotel, that's also another part of the big development?
One of the first, if not the first in the world, Richard's actually sitting on a race course. Now, to put this into perspective, you're sitting just past the finishing post, you've got 174 rooms, and they're that close to the race course. If you jumped off the balcony, you'd land on the race course. So it is just a terrific situation.
I know one of your little babies has been the light rail. Is that progressing well with the state government?
Yeah, I'm confident enough to say now that light rail will happen in and around the eastern suburbs of Sydney. It's probably for us just how many rail stations we get on Royal Randwick, but there'll be at least a couple, I'd imagine. And gee, that just changes the dynamics of coming and going, doesn't it? And not just us, by the way, but the football stadium, Cricket Ground, Fox Studios, all those places will benefit by this. Why Melbourne works so well is you can get a tram in the middle of Melbourne and go anywhere with greatest ease. Now, it's going to be the same thing here. It has two functions, Richard. It has the daytime, 5 days a week business function for people wanting to travel into a very congested city, and then on the weekend and sports orientated things and events around the city, around this part of the city, ease of transport there.
Now, we've got 2 race meetings coming up here at Royal Randwick. Obviously, that slows things down a little bit to get things in order.
Yeah, we've got to do, the builders have got to do a lot of temporary setup, and we're working with them. So I deal with our hospitality events and the racing guys and try and get their wants and needs, and then deal with the builder to try and deliver their wants, and we get most of the things right. So people will get in, people will get out safely, and it'll be another good carnival.
This spring carnival will be very similar to what we presented in autumn. There'll be wonderful marquee environments around the official stand, and the public will have the double-decker marquee and a lot of cover for shade and or adverse weather. Brand-driven environments with people coming on course and setting up things like you saw with the Johnny Walker bar through the autumn. Those type of environments coming back and doing them in a really grand way. And we'll get through this carnival, and then in the build-up to autumn next year, obviously it's about getting the building set and bringing the people through that.
I know Melbourne Cup Day has been moved to Rosehill. For this spring carnival coming up, what's going to be at Randwick?
It's quite unique, Richard. So the TAB meeting will be going to Rosehill Gardens, and that's a great opportunity for the people of West to really embrace Melbourne Cup at a terrific venue like Rosehill Gardens, but have it really dressed up and really get that Melbourne Cup feel out at Rosehill Gardens this year, and we'll be hopeful of a very big crowd there. And perhaps uniquely, perhaps it might not happen again in my lifetime, but there'll be a picnic meeting at Royal Randwick. So we'll switch them around. Our capacity at Randwick will be about 11,000. Most of that will be to pre-sold members and pre-sold corporates, but the infield will be open for the public, and great opportunity for horses trained in the city, perhaps who haven't made the grade, to have a victory at Royal Randwick, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun on that day in a more relaxed way.
It's easy to say we build it, they'll come, but will they come? Is it going to be that good?
Yes, Richard, I'm absolutely confident. I mean, what was the point in going to all this trouble if you didn't believe in it from day one? And all the people here absolutely believe in this, the fit out, the way it's going to come together, what it offers, all different levels for all different people that want to come to races, but all brand new, a brand new approach to racing. And look, I'm sure they'll come. I guess the trick is they'll come in their droves to have a look at it. Then we've got to keep them.
We've had over 9% growth from the membership of the previous two clubs to the new club, which has introduced over 3,000 new members. So we're very excited about that. We're over 14,000 members now for the first time in many years in Sydney racing. Our ambition is to really grow that to 20,000 and beyond. To do that, we need to get a lot of casual race goers and frequent race goers to take that step to investment. We're going to do that by providing a much more diverse offer and by having value in everything we do. So that's an exciting part of the process. We've bolstered the membership team, loyalty programs, incentives, and a lot of race day promotions, because it's not just about getting the members in the family, it's about getting them to go to the races more often. So there's two parts of that equation, and we think that we've got a program starts this year and will continue to build that'll really get us to where we need to be in a membership level.
So it's now time to be a member of the ATC?
Couldn't be a better time to lock in. If you join now before the 31st of December, you don't pay a joining fee, so that's a significant incentive. You can imagine with new facilities come online and new products in the market and increased value in the membership, there'll be a joining fee in years to come. So you've got a couple of months to lock in. I suggest you do that now or the price will go up.
I've seen the pictures, I've seen the fly-through. It looks magnificent. We're a long way from that.
I think this looks magnificent. Seeing a lot of guys here working hard, it's good to see it moving forward, and it's really good to be seeing it early next year, and it will look like the fly-throughs eventually.
At the end of the day, once this thing's completed, everyone's going to be very proud of it from both a racing ATC perspective, and I think, as Darren mentioned, the flexibility of this space and it's setting a benchmark for not just a racing facility but also a greater sporting facility. It's going to be a great product.
All the smarts we learn on Randwick, all the research, all the design elements that we get from it enable us to move forward on Rosehill in a much more sophisticated way. So when Randwick's back online, the fun doesn't stop. We move to Rosehill to make the investments in Rosehill to improve what is already an outstanding race course, but just to take it to that next level and to have those two crowns in the Sydney racing portfolio of Randwick and Rosehill will just make Sydney racing so strong and so stable for the long term.
Future looks all right?
Looks good. The merger has sort of settled down and Sydney racing's moving ahead in a united way, and I've got to thank everyone who's getting behind us now, and the fun starts now. We get these new assets online, we continue to build the business, we offer more exciting diversified products to the market, and I think you'll see the ATC as being one of the most innovative and driven sporting and entertainment businesses in Australia in years to come.